Welcome back to Fresh Meat in Prison Streets. Previously on, the party spent another day preparing for their upcoming caper, I suppose is the best word for it, in which they are seeking to infiltrate a masquerade ball coming up in a couple days. They explored a bit of the town, talked to some more shop owners, bought a couple items. Yeah, all sort of trying to gain some information as well as some things that might come in handy when they actually execute the operation. They bought 2 magic items from the old antique shop, which have been added to Proud and Fox's inventories if you want to look. And
Yeah.
that's the descriptions there. We'll tell you a little bit about the items, but as you haven't learned everything about them, they're a little vague right now. I'm not sure exactly who you wanted carrying them around. I just added what I remembered from last session. So you can tell me who's holding what if you want me to switch it around. It's easy to do.
We'll just trade it within the game and not worry about it too much on our character sheets.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too big of a deal, but just keep track of who is holding it in case you decide to split up or something like that. So they bought the Magnus spying glass, which was a little magnifying glass which can be twisted. The frame can be twisted 180 degrees to allow you to hold it up to a wall and see as if there was a little hole in that wall. And they also bought a lantern with a small little fiery imp trapped inside. Well, I mean, trapped is probably not the right word. And when the hood of the lantern is lifted, it gives off a warm orange light that is generated by the imp himself. But the imp has a rather nasty temperament. So those are the 2 items they bought. They also explored the library a little bit and talked to a couple of the librarians there. And they visited the church, where some of them did some light reading, and the other, and Proud had his first little actual prayer session. Fox went to talk to the husband and wife, the couple who they found out had the last uniforms for the wait staff of the ball. And then they Fox had a little discussion with them, found out that they maybe weren't as nefarious as they first seemed, and decided to offer them a deal, which they considered as long as he would give them something to hold on to so that they could trust him. So they haven't hit the end of that interaction yet, as they went to go get some stuff and come back to talk to them later. So where we sit right now, the party did all of that stuff in the day, and then it began to sun began to go down, so they headed back to the place where they were staying for the night. And are entering the Wanton Whisper. I don't think we did a long rest. I think we just ended right here. And I said, you guys can do anything you want before you go to bed at the start of this sessions, rather than stretching longer just to do bedtime routines or whatever. Oh, I think the only thing I missed was they met a young man who seemed like he was in charge of the affairs at the old Cornell Manor, which the party attempted to break into one night and then found him the next morning outside inspecting the lock. They discussed things with him, and he told them that nobody lived there anymore. And I think that's about it. So yeah, where we return to is the Wanton Whisper, where the party has just entered with the intention, I believe, to retire for the night. So you re-enter the old and decrepit and dingy tavern and inn, seeing the sketchy-looking debt collectors you were told they were, sitting at their usual spot getting drunk. The bartender, um, a dark elf, is standing behind the counter, and he kind of looks up at you as you walk in. What do you do?
I just kind of give him like a wave of a hand as I pass by.
He gives you a nod of acknowledgement.
Are you out proud?
Oh, right. Party will walk upstairs.
You take a bit of a longer step over the first couple of broken stairs to arrive back upstairs in the Wanton Whisper. Oh, there's Perry. Your rooms are as you left them. Untouched, but relatively disgusting as far as rooms in an inn go.
So, do you guys want to try looking at that other room tonight, or do you want to try going for the mansion?
Why not both? Just peek inside and then we can decide about if we want to stay or go in the mansion.
Actually, I want to try something first, though.
What do you want to try?
Fox, you have the Magnus spyglass?
I actually have the Magnus Mind Glass.
Okay, can you go on the other side of the door here and then look through it?
Like, here?
No, like inside the room, inside our room. And then I'll shut the
Okay.
door and then you look through it. Sorry, shut the
Alright.
door.
Proud will turn the magnifying glass in the 90 degrees so that it's that way, and then look through the glass through this wall.
All right. You see the lens of the magnifying glass begin to shimmer, and you know that it's activated. So you hold it up to the wooden wall, and then lean in to look through it. Inside is a little bit dark as there's no lights on in there, and no candles lit. But there is the slightest bit of a glint of light from the window as the sun is going down.
I'll try to look closer into the glass, maybe move it around up this wall, and see if I can use the glint from the window to help me shine light on anything in the room.
Okay. Make a perception check for me, and we'll determine how effective it is, just because it's such dim light.
All right, that is a 12.
Okay. You watch for a couple seconds, moving it around on the wall to try to find a better angle, and then all of a sudden, you feel a little startled as something moves quickly past the magnifying glass. Something very obviously alive.
Shoot, what? Even try to move around, try to catch up to it, see if I can find it, or just rapidly going back and forth.
You spend some time finding a new spot on the wall, looking for where it might have gone, and then you see on the far end of the room, next to that dresser, well, more of a silhouette of a dresser, you see something that you estimate is maybe about just above knee height for a normal person. The small silhouette of something standing at the end, other side of the room. At first, you thought it was just some sort of piece of furniture, but then you see ever so slightly that it moves. But you can't quite make out what it is.
I'm gonna back away from the wall and turn the glass back to normal.
As you begin to turn the glass, or as you look at the magnifying glass, the shimmering actually fades before you can turn it back around.
Huh.
You estimate the time that it was activated was around 30 seconds.
That maybe it. Huh. That's odd.
Ender is still
So-
standing outside the hallway with the door shut, expecting Proud to look through the magnifying glass through the door. But
I'm just gonna knock slightly on the door.
what? Ender opens the door. What are you doing?
Come in. No, just come in.
What? Okay.
So, I saw something. Wait, close the door again.
Okay, close the door.
Okay.
Alright.
So I saw something in there that was.
Wait, you already looked
Short.
through there?
Yeah.
I was gonna
He's
try
not
and
very
see
good at.
something.
He's not very good at listening.
Oh my gosh.
we-
Okay. Well, now
we-
we need to try exactly what I was gonna try before right now to make sure that this isn't a problem. So I'm gonna shut the door, and then I want you to look through the door at me with the magnifying glass. I need to see if I can see you through the hole that's going through the door.
Why didn't you just say that before?
I did say that before. You just
It was
listen.
pretty. It was pretty clear. He said the door, not the wall, and you just assumed it was the wall.
You should have just said, "Hey, Proud, look at me."
But it's
I
a
said-
door, and you went
There's
to the
only one
wall.
door in the room. I said look through the door.
I meant. Oh my god! All right, go back out there. I'll look at you
Okay.
to see if it's a problem.
I open the door and I walk fast and then I shut the door behind me again.
All right.
Alright.
So Proud's gonna turn the magnifying glass, and then look through the closed door to try to see Ender.
So to clarify what you did with the magnifying glass, it faded on its own while it was still turned the way that you had it. So you had to turn it back and then back again, sort of on and then off again to reactivate it, and then you see the lens begin to shimmer again.
Okay. So I'm gonna look at Ender.
All right. You look through the door and you see sort of chest height of what you recognize to be Ender.
Okay, when he does that, can I see anything happen with the door? Like,
You
is there
see, you see
a
a
hole in the wall?
regular door.
Okay, but I can't tell there's anyone on the other side looking through it.
Not at all.
Okay. I continue to wait.
All right.
Okay.
Proud. If you don't do anything else, then what else? Well, I guess you can tell me what you do.
Yeah. No. Proud's just gonna turn it again and then do the same little slight knock.
Okay. I'll open the door again. Why are you knocking? Just open the door.
All right. No. All right. So I looked through the wall again, and here's what I saw. No, I'm just kidding. I saw you, and what did you see? Could you tell I was looking
No,
at you?
I couldn't see anything.
Okay. So we were fine. All right.
Okay.
Oswaldo described it as well as he could have.
Okay,
He's
so what
saying-
did you said you looked through the wall. What did you see?
I couldn't. It's really dark in there. There's no light. There's no candles. This might be something that's better in the morning when maybe there's more sunlight shining through, because there is a window in there. But I couldn't. I saw something alive, something that was small though, no taller than my knee or above my knee. So whatever it is, I think it's just one living thing in there, and it's not that big. But that's it. It was too dark for me to see anything else.
Could Proud tell whether it was bipedal or quadrupedal?
I'm gonna assume it was. I'm gonna assume it had two legs, because
That was the
nothing
impression
else
you
I
got.
could-
Okay.
yeah. because it was. I mean, it was small, but like it wasn't long.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it could be an animal, but it could be something else too.
Yeah, I don't know. But there was nothing I could tell, at least from that look, that was worth going in and inspecting. At least we'd just be running into blind at the very best and potentially
Well,
a dangerous situation at the worst.
I could like create a light in the room when you look through it, but I think that kind of defeats the purpose of us being stealthy about it. So waiting until the
Yeah.
morning is probably the best idea.
All right. Well, in that case, do you guys want to head off for the night, or do you want to try the mansion one more time?
Well, okay, what time is it right now?
It's after sundown now, so around 10 o'clock.
Okay. How about we wait a little while and then we can go during the middle of the night to inspect the manor?
I'm cool with that. Do you guys want to let Perry know? Those goes, not I.
Those goes, not me.
Shit. Alright. I'll be back in a second. Mockingly, I'm gonna knock on the door before I open it and then walk up.
Oh, who's there?
Okay, and then I'm gonna knock on Perry's door. Hey, Perry!
Hello? Perry is like half awake right now. Why are you guys waking me up? Also, you guys are very loud in the other room.
Is it okay if I come in for a second?
Sure, the dress is not in front of the door.
Okay, I walk into the room. Hey, we're planning on going to check out the Cornell Manor again later tonight. If you want to come, or you can sleep, I guess. It's up to you.
What's the other option? Because Perry's not looking forward towards the screaming lock again.
Well, I can deal with that, but who knows what could be in that manor? It's pretty old, so it could be like all kinds of little places the Dunicoins could be.
You drive a hard bargain, Perry's in.
Alright, I'll go let the others know.
Literally, would you do it for a Scooby snack?
Alright, she said she's in.
While we're waiting for this hour, can I focus on the lantern to see if I can glean anything from it, like its functions and everything, maybe something different?
Okay. With it closed or with it open?
With it open.
Okay. Then the room is sort of bathed in an orange glow as the lantern is open. And the little imp inside, immediately as you open it, goes, "What a dump have you brought me to?"
Don't worry about it.
Worry about it? Well, I'm the one who's got to look at it, isn't I?
Would you like something better?
Yeah, you lot couldn't afford a nicer inn than this.
Maybe. We all got to start somewhere, you know.
Well, this ain't much of a place to start.
Means we can go somewhere a lot higher. You start at the bottom.
We'll see about that, won't we?
Tell me about yourself. Do you just talk when you're open?
Well, ain't much use talking when it's closed, is there? Nobody can really hear me.
Can you see all the same?
Not much to see with a big sheet of metal in your face, is there?
Can you ever leave your home?
Why would I want to leave this so I can go hang out in dumps like you?
So you can go to cold places and come back.
What's
we
cooler
can-
than my own little lantern?
Do you like how tiny it is?
Perfect for a tiny little imp like myself, don't you think?
What if you had a larger place to hold all kinds of trinkets? Do you like trinkets?
Well, I'm not going dumpster diving like you lot.
I'm not saying dumpster diving. I'm saying going to places where it's fit for an imp. Someplace where
You saying this
royalty
ain't fit
stays.
for an imp?
I think you could do better.
Well, I disagree. And the imp reaches out his little hand and shuts the hood.
Oh, thank God that orange light is off.
Why are you complaining? We're not even going to bed.
I want to get some beauty rest.
You're gonna need more than an hour.
Fine.
Well, that went horribly. I guess with it closed, I'm gonna try and focus on it, see if there's something to it, I guess. I don't know.
While you had it open, you get a sense that the imp is difficult. Though he doesn't seem genuinely angry, he seems like he maybe enjoys how he's behaving. With it closed, it's a lot harder to tell anything about the lantern. It very obviously shuts out all of the light, and you can't hear anything while it's closed.
Does the light come from him specifically? Like when he reached his hand out, did it get brighter to a degree, or did like the light change?
It didn't get brighter, but yes, the light the shadows in the room changed a little bit when he reached his little hand out. It's just a small little hand. So he kind of had to like reach through, like sort of bars of the lantern to grab the hood. But he that's about as far as he can reach, is just to grab the hood. You don't suspect that he could do much other than that. And the light did change because he is giving off the light. He is a fiery little imp that glows with orange light.
And he's locked in there? Like he can't get out physically, or did it look like he had the ability to, he just doesn't want to?
You don't see any way that he could get out. But you also don't get the impression that he wants to from your conversation.
Okay. That's gonna be it for now then.
All right. Does anybody else want to do anything while you wait?
Eddie would like to look out of the windows.
All right. You see just kind of a dingy alleyway, and some dirty-looking canals.
How about this window?
Similar, as you are just kind of surrounded by canals and other sort of rundown buildings in this section of town.
That's unfortunate. Okay, Betty would like to go to sleep now.
All right. Anybody else?
I'm just gonna have one orb of dancing lights above my head while I continue to read my book of flora.
All right. You get to the section after kind of skipping through the very long-winded parts about grapes. You get to the section on healing herbs. From what you can gather, they don't seem all that different from the plants that you're used to using back in Lyrethia. Occasionally they'll use a different name for something, but you'll recognize from the properties that it has or the drawing in the book that it is something that you recognize that you use it for. They just simply use a different term for it on this side of the continent.
Okay. Cool.
And every once in a while, you get an idea of maybe they grow in different places as you read through this section. They grow in slightly different places than what you're used to. You're used to going out into the forest to gather stuff, but it's a little more rocky in this area. So often things will grow at the base of cliffs and stuff like that. So you get sort of a different sense of, on this coastline, where to find the same things that you would have found back in Lyrethia.
Perfect.
All right. Proud, anything to do?
Proud is just going to be trying to get a quick catnap and dream of exploring on the high seas and what it'll feel like when he finally gets these shackles off.
All right. Yeah, just so you're aware what Fox was doing, whenever you have a magic item that you don't know the exact properties of, you can spend an hour, like a short rest, to examine it and try to figure out more properties. Just so you're aware. I don't know. I sometimes do things a little more differently than other stuff, just because nobody ever takes the inspect spell. So. Yeah. All right. Then you guys can tell me how long you take before you decide to do something else.
We'll wait until about a little after midnight, like 1 o'clock maybe.
Okay.
In the morning.
So like 3 hours.
Sure. Then you guys can do any sort of short rest things during this time period that you want. I don't think you really have much of a purpose to, but just it is a short rest, so. And then a little after midnight, around 1 o'clock in the morning, you all get the sense that you've waited long enough. Except perhaps Perry, who might be asleep.
Well, I'm not going to get Perry. Nose goes.
Nose goes.
Alright, I'll let him know. Proud, wake up.
Oh. Is it time?
You have to go get Perry.
What nose? Oh.
Too late.
All right. Perry.
Is someone calling out my name, Conscience?
Yes, Perry. It's your father. Open the door.
My father doesn't like to whisper. I don't even know my father.
Perry, it's Duna. Open the door.
Only if you have tuna coins.
I just opened the
Yes.
door.
Well, it's locked.
No, it's not. She didn't say she locked it.
It's definitely not locked.
Oh. Proud just kind of looks at the door as Fox opens it, like dumbfounded. They didn't try that first. All right. You ready?
Perry's up. Yeah, Perry's ready. 1 second. Come on, Ebony, let's go.
While he's in there with her, I'm gonna say to Ender, maybe I need to take care of Perry more often. He didn't even know how to open a door.
Hey, doors are tricky.
Then where would I get my entertainment from?
That's true. He's very good at entertaining.
I want to, before we go down, I want to try to go to the side and look around the corner to see if the bartender's there.
You peek down the stairs and can see the tavern floor is empty, and then you look a little bit to the side to try to look behind the bar. And the bartender is there, but he's just kind of cleaning stuff up and wiping stuff down with a rag.
All right. Should we try to sneak out or just walk out?
Why are we hiding anything? Just walk out.
All right. It'd be kind of weird for a group of 4 people to be out at middle of the night, but sure. And Proud will walk down the stairs.
Be even more weird to try and sneak out and then them ask why.
Right. You see the bartender behind the bar busy cleaning. But he hears the creak of the stairs and turns to see you. And says, "Whew. Up late?"
Yes.
Wait,
Just going out for a little walk. Can't sleep.
Yeah, I get that sometimes too. Can't meditate, you know how it is.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean meditate? I thought elves had to sleep all the way, even half elves.
What do you mean?
Well, because we know someone that. Wait a minute. You don't have to fully sleep?
Not really, no.
Proud shoots daggers with eyes at Perry.
Perry has been ignoring the elf lore, but that's fine, I don't mind.
No, Perry's just been pretending like Perry needs to go to sleep. Technically, Perry's just been listening this whole entire time.
Interesting. Well, that gives us something to talk about. Hope you have a good rest of the night.
No, it doesn't. I was aware, like, the beginning of this session when I first said I wanted to go to sleep. Fox told me, and then I was like, oh, JK, that's right.
Oh no, I knew, but Proud didn't know. Now Proud knows.
No, Proud still does not know.
All right, you make your way back out into the shady side of Luchan's, and it's pretty dark out, and it's a lot more gloomy than it usually is, as the night air hits you. You make your way back across a couple bridges, and arrive at the gates in front of the Cornell Manor.
Okay, now before we touch the lock, I'm going to be very specific this time about the directions I need to give you, Brad, because yeah. So I'm going to start casting the silence spell, but you have to wait 10 minutes for me to finish, and then after I complete the spell, there won't be a sound around us for another 10 minutes, and then you can attempt to take the lock off.
Okay, wait 10 minutes and then you got 10 minutes to work.
Yeah.
Can
All right.
Can we try something else first?
What do you want to try?
If I look at these 2 trees to my right and left, Jay, I think I asked you this before. Do any of the branches look like they kind of go at least close to the fence?
I believe last time I said some of them do touch the fence, but the branches are rather spindly. It's not a very robust looking tree. They're kind of old and dead.
Okay. I have rope that I actually bought.
Mhm.
Is there if I a plan that I would like to try is to wrap it around the tree to give me more of an easier time to climb up the fence if possible. Is that something that I could try?
You estimate it might be a little bit difficult, but you could try it certainly.
Okay. Another question. Um, with Step of the Wind, it increases my jumps. Obviously, this would be kind of difficult. If I'm on the stone part and I just do a standing high jump, could I get across? Or if I had a learning start and someone helped launch me over the wall, could I do it?
Um, yeah, perhaps.
And I want you to stand near this wall. and I want to see if I can jump over.
I
Okay.
would say you estimate that the standing long jump will get you near the top of the gate, but not over the spiked bit. If you had someone to help you and a running start, perhaps you could get over the spiky bit.
Okay, so I'll put my like back up against the back of the wall here, and then like kind of put my hands out in a cup, ready to push his feet up.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to run straight at you, and then I'm going to step and jump. All right.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. You step back and get a running start, focusing hard on your own ability to jump.
And I use Step of
And-
the Wind.
And then I cast guidance as soon as I touch his feet and lift him up.
All right. Then make an acrobatics roll with your guidance.
Oh man.
What'd you get? Oof. All right. You you boost.
Wow.
I knew that emote would be perfect. I'm so glad that I got that one. You boost Fox up as he reaches you, and he sort of sails up. And at first, proud and Perry, you think he's gonna make it. Oh, he's gonna make it! He's gonna make it! And then he hits just right at the top against the metal grate of the fence, and slams into it, taking 3 bludgeoning damage. But he is now sort of dangling right at the top of this fence.
Did
Well,
that slam make a lot of noise?
It rattled the gate, but not loud enough that it would wake the whole neighborhood.
and it didn't mess with the lock, right?
No.
Well, since I'm up here, I'm gonna try to get over, I guess.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna try and like help him as much as I can.
He's a little too high for you to be able to effectively help him.
Okay.
You have to kind of get on your tiptoes to even be able to touch him, so you can't give him much of a boost.
Okay. I'll just stand under him in case he falls or something.
All right. Fox, if you're attempting to get over from your side of the gate onto the other side, you're gonna have to make it over the spiky bit. So you're gonna have to make one more acrobatics roll for me.
As long as I don't roll another 1, I'm sure I'm fine. The +5, what the fuck?
All right. The rest of you see Fox kind of plant his feet against 2 bars of the gate and then push himself and sort of do a nimble flip right over the spiky bit of the gate. And then he lands both feet perfectly flat right on the ground with his back facing you on the other side of the fence.
Good job.
Yeah, really impressive.
Are you okay?
I've been better. It's okay. It's just a scratch.
Well, I don't think I can flip quite like that over the fence. So, do we
Yeah.
want to try and climb that rope that you have, or do we want to try the lock?
I think we might as well try the lock, right?
Can I, if I climb this tree, can I hold the rope and maybe pull, like, lodge it on the other side of the fence to help them kind of just shimmy along up towards the top? Would that be something they could do?
You estimate you could help them shimmy to the top, but you realize that they're going to have to make the leap over the spiky top of the fence themselves. It's going to be pretty hard to help them over that, as the bit of the tree that kind of hangs near there is dead and spindly and won't support your weight. So you could help them climb most of it, but not that last little bit.
I think I might be able to get over even one arm, and Ebony could probably help Perry get over pretty easily, and Perry could get over herself. But
I mean,
Ender, you got armor on, man. I don't know.
Ebony's a little owl. I don't know how.
We could just try start with Ender and see if it goes well from there. We could just continue on.
Yeah, I'm okay with Ender being the first test. Go ahead, bud.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna climb the tree and take out my rope.
All right. The tree itself has many branches and no leaves to get in your way, so it's relatively easy to climb. You manage to get to the top of it, though you kind of sit not quite as high as you could have because the branches at the top of the tree sort of bend as you lean against them, so you estimate they wouldn't hold your weight. So you get about as high as you think the tree will hold you, and then look down on Ender, who's standing on the other side of the fence.
All right, and I toss over the rope,
All right, Ender,
but obviously holding the other end.
Yeah, of course. Ender, the rope sort of flops down next to you as Fox holds the other end.
Okay, I'm gonna fireman climb it up to the top if I can.
All right. With the assistance of the rope, you manage to relatively easily get to the very top of the fence, though that last little bit is sharpened, spiked steel, and it looks very intimidating from where you're standing right now.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability and use Cat's Grace on myself.
All right.
And then I'm gonna attempt to flip over, similar to how Fox did.
Okay. Then roll with your cat's grace.
Okay. Acrobatics, right?
Yep.
Uh, 17.
All right. Periwinkle and Proud, you see Ender as he sort of hangs right near the top of the gate. All of a sudden, he glows for just a moment, and then it fades. And then he does his best to emulate Fox's little flip. Not quite as gracefully as he doesn't have that experience. But he doesn't do a cool flip, but he does manage to leap right over the spiky bit and land on the other side of the fence. Ender, you're not used to these sorts of acrobatics, so as you land, you don't take any damage, but you feel your knees kind of rattle.
Yeah. Well, Cat's Grace also allows me to not take damage from
Exactly,
falling.
that's what I'm saying. You don't take
So,
any
yeah.
damage, but you do feel
Yeah,
sort of.
definitely. Especially in like
you're not
heavy
used to
armor.
this. Yeah, exactly. You're not used to these sorts of acrobatics, so you feel a little bit rattled as you land, but you manage to make it over it without taking any damage.
I just kind of like look back at Fairy and Proud. Okay, who's next?
Ladies first.
So Proud's next.
Proud considers walking away right now.
Just slap the lock and run away.
God, that would be the worst, dude.
Proud looks at his one arm in a sling and up the rope, and then begrudgingly starts to take the rope and fireman climb it up.
Don't worry, Proud. It's more about your legs than your one arm.
I wouldn't mind having all four limbs for this, I'm not gonna lie. Then, yeah, Proud's gonna get up to the top of, or do I have to roll anything to try to climb up the rope?
With two of them assisting you, kind of holding the weight of the rope, they manage to kind of pull you up with their own strength a little bit. So they do assist you up, though it does take longer. Where it only took about 2 minutes to get Ender up to the top, it takes you guys about 8 minutes to haul Proud up there. And Proud, you're kind of half held by the rope right at the top and half by your good arm.
All right, Proud's gonna get to the top, look down, or look across the spikes that are there, and think to Seneschal, like, all right, I know I just started with this whole prayer thing, but I'd like to not faceplant and get really hurt. and then Proud's gonna take a leap over the spikes.
All right. Acrobatics with disadvantage because your good arm is.
Yep. Let me look up my
incapacitated.
score. Yep. All right. Oh man, one of them was a natural 20, but that's still a 17.
Okay. You manage to push mostly with your feet, and sort of surprise everybody with how nimble you are, even with one arm not in use, and manage to sort of kick your way off up and over the spiked bit. You sort of, on your way back down, you crash a little bit into the side of the fence, but you manage to make it mostly gracefully to the ground.
All right. Let's go, Perry.
Good job, Proud. All right, Perry, the last one.
Okay, guys, Perry's gonna go climb now.
Maybe you want to stand over here where the rope is.
Okay, now Perry's gonna climb now.
Now that there's three of you to support the weight of the rope, and Perry has nothing sort of standing in her way, or any sort of things that would cause any sort of difficulty for her, you manage to haul her up to the top of the gate without really any trouble at all, relatively quickly. Now she sits at the top with the spiky bit in front of her. So make an acrobatics check then, like everybody else. No buffs, but no penalties.
She rolled
Alright.
14.
Where's the fucking...
You push yourself up and over, and kind of catch yourself on one of the spikes. Your armor blocks, or well, actually, you don't have any armor. But it cuts a little strip of fabric out of your clothing, but just avoids hitting you. So you don't draw any blood, but you do have a small hole in the back of your clothing.
Guys, I feel a little bit of a draft coming through my clothes. Maybe I cut myself a little bit.
Is there cloth on the spikes?
Yeah,
Is it bad? Does it look bad?
at the top of the gate, you can see a small little piece of cloth that's kind of been ripped off and impaled on the top of the gate.
Great. Can I grab that by chance? Like, if can I reach it to just remove it?
No need for you to get it. There's one of us that can get to the top of that very easily and take that off with their own hands, so to speak.
That's okay. Ebony, go pick it up so I can fix my suit.
Fox, you're at the top of the tree still, so you can kind of reach over and grab it.
Great. I'll grab that and then I'll drop down and brush myself off, put away the cloth in like a pocket just so it's not evidence. All right. That was all right. That was a decent try.
Yeah.
Wow, Mr. Compliment. I didn't realize your name was Ebony.
I was already there. Sorry. Next time I'll let her take it.
Look, we can argue about this later. I don't know how much time we have. We did make a little bit of noise.
Can I look around to see if anyone is looking at us?
You don't see anybody in the streets, but they are pretty dark.
Okay.
So it is pretty difficult to tell if there truly is anyone there, but there isn't anybody that you see.
Stop being paranoid, Proud.
Check the door. See if it opens this time.
Paranoid Pool, that's my name. Proud's gonna check the door.
So the door to the manor, you have to walk up a set of wooden stairs onto a sort of old-looking balcony. And as you sort of get up to the door, you can tell that it's sort of busted up and falling apart, both from time, but it also looks like perhaps something else happened to it.
All right.
So,
Perry, you've
without-
got the. Sorry,
go ahead.
Perry, you've got dark vision. Do you want to lead the way? Or
Why did Mr. Grumpy Man not bring his imp?
well,
No, I
don't know
have
how
my
much you
lantern.
want something that can make noise in there. And actually, I can lead, but Ender, you should get ready to have your little hat thingy make some light for us.
It's a circlet.
It's fine.
Yeah, whatever it is. Prob's gonna slowly open up the wooden doors
All right.
into the mansion and walk inside.
The door sort of hangs loosely on its hinge and opens with a long, but not very loud creak as you make your way into what appears to be a foyer of sorts. Alright, let me get you guys in here. All right. The manor is very obviously old. It is sort of coated in a thin layer of dust on pretty much everything you can see. The furniture that surrounds you is sort of both falling apart from disrepair, but also torn up. Chat can't see the title of the song, but the title of the song is Sacrifice Games.
That's not, ominous at all.
The rug is sort of like torn apart and perhaps maybe eaten by insects, as you can see a bunch of holes in it as you walk into the foyer. There's some pots that used to have plants, perhaps, that are mostly just sort of dead, dried sticks now, sitting within those pots. On the far end of the foyer, you can see a staircase that's sort of ornate, or at least perhaps it used to be, as it looks old and decrepit now. And a bookshelf that's sort of buckled under its own weight, skewing old, tattered tomes across the floor. What do you do?
I kind of walk up towards the rug, and I'm gonna just close my eyes, not that I can see anyways, and try to listen to hear if there's any other sounds, maybe coming from upstairs or from a different room, like this, if there's any wood creaking or something.
All right. You feel a carpet under your feet, and then focus on the sounds of the manor. You hear the house itself sort of groan and creak under its own weight in the wind. But that's about it.
I'm not leading the way.
Well,
I
Pick a
can't
room.
make you do anything.
and
You want-
give us light, and I will lead.
Okay, I cast my second expenditure of dancing lights.
Okay. So I'll let you place these wherever you want.
Okay, I'm just gonna assume they're kind of in like a rectangle around the property.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna give you control of them in case you want to move them.
okay, so like
Should be able to move them now. There you go. So with that, the room is sort of bathed in this gently dancing light, and the rest of you can see what Perry saw. This staircase on the other end of the room the potted plants. At the top of the staircase is a set of doors, and then on either side of the room is a smaller kind of single door. The one off to your left is kind of overgrown with vines, and the one on your right is just sort of old and sort of has a rotten wood texture to it.
If I go to the books, can I find any that have a decent condition that can still be read?
They look very old, and they're almost sort of moist as you touch one of them. Very clearly water damaged. And as you examine one of them, it's growing a sort of mold across it, a black mold. There don't appear to be too many of them that are legible from this shelf, as it's kind of been almost entirely demolished. Even the wood of the bookshelf is sort of wet and rotten.
If I
Or-
examine the mold, would I recognize it as anything more dangerous than just like regular?
Make a nature check.
Okay. Wow, pretty bad. 6.
You don't get the sense that it's all that dangerous, though you don't really recognize it, so you aren't certain of that.
Okay.
What happened to the Manor again? Didn't we find out that there was a fire or something?
Well, there was rumors that people died in here. Even a guy that was trying to do the same thing that we're basically doing and never returned. We gotta be on our guard here at all times.
Do you want to check the side rooms or upstairs first? My vote is
Well-
save the overgrown door for last.
Yeah. Well, that's probably the biggest room if we go up there. That will be a little bit tighter quarters. So it'll depend. We can also check to see if any of them are unlocked or if I would need to break into any of them.
Why don't we work our way up back down to where we started?
So go through the big doors first.
Yeah, I think we go upstairs and then we work our way back towards the front door.
All right.
I am on very high guard. I am terrified of this place,
Understood?
and I'm trying to
Crowd's gonna
listen to
check
anything.
the door to see. Is gonna check the doorknob to see if it's locked or not.
The doorknob turns. It kind of squeaks as you turn it, but it turns without any sort of difficulty. It is unlocked.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Be on the lookout. Proud's gonna open the door and walk through.
All right, one sec. The words you don't want to hear, huh? One moment, please.
It's more like the words I don't want to hear and do want to hear at the same time are roll initiative.
All right. You open that door, and through the sort of flickering light of your dancing lights, you can see that you are now inside a hallway. It stretches off in either direction, but immediately in front of you, as you enter the hallway, is another set of double doors. Off to your left is, down the kind of cobweb-laden hall, is a door on that end, and then off to your right is another single door. More choices to be had.
Well, I mean, the door over there probably leads into the mossy room, and the door over there probably leads to the room that we passed. So if we're going by Ender's logic, should we just go straight through?
Yeah, I agree. Just keep going.
All right.
Fox, as you approach this door, you hear something clatter behind it.
I immediately hold up my hand, and I'm gonna try and put my ear to the door.
All right.
Wait.
The rest of you see Fox kind of hold up a hand for everyone to freeze, and then he presses his ear against the door.
Fox, here.
I
And
hold
if
up
Fox,
my hand.
if Fox is putting out his hand, I'll hand him the magnifying glass.
I'm gonna go ahead and twist it and see if I can see through the door.
All right. You peer. Just enter your dancing lights are still up. Just so you know. Fox, you peer in through this door and see through just sort of dim shadows. It's very dark in the room. But you're still listening, and you hear a small little a cackle from inside the room.
Is it facing towards us, just kind of like waiting and cackling, or is it doing its own thing?
You can't get a sense. You see every once in a while in the darkness, again, it is very dark in the room. So you don't see any actual real silhouettes. You just occasionally get the sort of chills down your back that something moved in there. And then from time to time you hear a little high-pitched sort of cackle. Not really directed at anything, just sort of through the door.
I'm gonna whisper, "All right, something is in there, and it's very, very spooky. I don't know how to respond. We could go in a blaze, or we can quietly see what else is around. I am scared that it might know we are here, though, and it might try and get us from behind."
Fox brings up a good point. If we try to explore another room, we open ourselves up to something sneaking up from behind. And this way we have everything in front of us.
Potentially. I don't know if there's anything else, but I know there's at least one in there. If you want, I could check the other doors first, while you stay here.
Well, you said you could you see anything in those? Because it's hard to see anything with that glass, even when it's dark.
Because it's dark, I could just see faint movement, and honestly, it was quite unnatural. But maybe I can see the same from the other doors. Just wait here. Let me check. I'm gonna reset the magnifying glass. I'm gonna go to the door on my left. Or sorry, my right.
Okay, so
And
dancing lights only last a minute, I guess. Unless if my circlet changes that somehow.
Correct, up to a minute. So the hallway gets a bit dark as the lights begin to fade.
Okay, I'll cast the light spell on my holy symbol then.
Okay. Then as that light begins to fade, a new light replaces it. Not covering quite as much ground, but it emanates from Ender this time as he lets out a warm glow. Fox, as you twist the magnifying glass for the 4th time today, you see it's hard to kind of tell, but in the dim light that Ender's giving off, you see hairline fractures appear on the lens. But it begins to shimmer.
Okay. I guess I'll just try and quickly take a look at this one and just be done with it then.
Okay. Through this, as you look through this door, it is just nothing, just pitch black.
Okay. Well, I'll turn it off, and I'll quietly go back to the group.
All right, you return to the glow that Ender's giving off.
So I think 4 times for the magnifying glass is enough. I don't know how much it charges, or if it even does. But we cannot use this again today, just to be safe. And I couldn't see anything. I think we have to just take a gamble with a door, or go straight through the center. And I'm gonna point to where the creepy ass cackling was.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Crap will draw his rapier.
So we're going to the creepy door.
Yep.
Alright. I guess I'll go up next to Ender. We'll go first. Proud watch Perry. Make sure she's not attacked from anywhere else.
Perry's gonna stay back here and just let you guys go in first.
Just be safe. If you see anything, let us know. Alright, Ender. You ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
All right, one moment. All right. You prepare yourselves at the double doors where the cackling was coming from. And then you, on your little count of 3, Ender leading the way, you push through those set of doors. And the light that Ender is giving off illuminates the room. And you see
Oh god.
some small spiked horned creatures, 2 of them crouching on top of what appears to be a dining room table, one off to your left and one off to your right, just sort of gently bathed in the light that you give off, Ender, as you walk inside. And as you open the door with a creak, the creatures all look towards you, and you will now roll for initiative.
Here we go.
Give me that hot combat music.
13 for Perry.
6 for Ender.
All right, one sec.
12 for Proud.
Wow, this music is slightly more metal and scary.
And I was looking forward to the Divinity music.
It would have been tone breaking.
Oh, I mean, the music that's totally original and not at all taken from any other entertainment source.
Yeah, I wrote it, totally. Perry got a 13. What did you get, Ender? Sorry.
6.
And Fox also got a 13.
Oof, those are some initiative rolls. Also,
It's
yeah,
been a while. We're kind of rusty.
I added that that D20 amount. Luna. All right. First to act is the small little cackling demonic-looking creature. Off to your left, Fox. All right, and it sort of raises one of its hands and then shoots a bolt of flame at you. And that is going to hit you for 6 fire damage.
Okay.
Alright. And as it sort of sees you get hit in the side and singed by this firebolt, it lets out a gleeful little cackle that you recognize as the cackle that you heard behind the door. Which brings us to
Oh god, this is gonna be bad, guys.
Yeah, I might go down before I even get to start.
Nah. But then look at it this way, then all 4 of us go at the same time. That's the way the initiative order goes.
Fox, as you're sort of hit by this firebolt, you quickly glance across at your other targets and actually make eye contact with this one. And as you make eye contact with it, it sort of like holds your gaze for a moment as it begins to cackle, and you feel the cackling sort of echo in your head as it does so. So make a wisdom saving throw for me.
22.
All right. You sort of, as the cackling echoes in your head, it gets louder and louder and louder, and then you sort of slap yourself in the face lightly and shake yourself out of it, pulling your focus away from that creature. Which brings us to Ender, the creature on top of the table. This one here runs towards you, jumping off the table, landing here in front of you, or off to your right a little bit, and then lashes out with one of its arms, which you see now has a chain wrapped around it. And as it lashes out with its arm, it sends that chain covered in small little spikes towards you. And the chain sort of slams into your side, finding a bit of a gap in your armor.
Damn, it rolled high then.
Causing 5 piercing damage.
Okay.
It did roll really high. Alright, which brings us to Fox's turn. Fox, you felt that weird hypnotic cackle in your head, and then wrenched your consciousness free from it, only to hear Ender cry out in pain as something strikes him. What do you do?
I'm going to go for the closest one who attacked Ender.
Okay.
And I have a question. So, Agile Parry, it didn't say specifically that it takes my bonus or any action. It just says a part of your action. So does that mean that I could flurry of blows and still get the bonus to AC?
It'd be a part of your attack action, so that'd be striking with your longsword or punching with your fist. Whereas flurry of blows, I think
It's
flurry
just
of
a
blows
bonus.
isn't necessarily your attack action.
Okay. I just want to make sure I can maximize my attack while still
understand.
getting a bonus to my AC.
Yeah, Flurry of Blows also triggers off of your attack action, so they don't trigger off each other. They are like options.
Okay. So I'm going to strike at him.
With your longsword?
Unarmed strike, basically.
Oh,
but-
yeah, didn't you leave your longsword with like a... I forgot.
Yeah, basically just for flavor.
Correct.
It looks like I'm using my sword, but not really.
Alright, you strike out at him then.
Natural 20.
Alright, that hits. You smash into him.
Do I need to roll an additional d4 for this?
Clicking it in here should do it for you, I think. Luno knows this better than me. He uses the same thing. It might have rolled it for you. I forget. Luna, what does it do? Tell me, Luna. I'm not as experienced with the same. It rolls it auto. I know D&D Beyond rolls it auto, but I don't know about the extension that you're using, as I don't use it.
It looks like it rolled it.
That's what I thought. All right.
Okay, cool. So 9 damage for the first hit.
All right. You smash an elbow into the face of this one and send it reeling. And it looks sort of stunned by the blow, but is still standing.
Okay, I'm gonna flurry of blows. Strike twice.
All right.
Uh, 24 for the second and a 14 for the third.
All right. The second one hits. The third one does not. So roll damage for the second one.
5 damage for the second.
All right. You follow up the elbow with a knee as it reels, and send it sort of toppling backward, and it collapses on the ground.
Okay, sorry, I was just counting measurements. So I guess I'll move a little more and I will get on this table.
All right. The rest of you see Fox make a nimble hop up onto the table. Fox,
It's gonna be
as you land,
another table fight.
you sort of kick a skeleton at your feet, and it rattles along the table.
Okay, and I just double checked. I have 40 feet. That should just be 30 feet of movement, so I'm just gonna move up 10 more to that creature if that's okay.
Yep.
And then that'll be my turn.
All right. Next is Periwinkle. Perry, you're sort of behind everybody, but you see that chain smash into Ender, and then Fox immediately lunge at the creature that did the damage, and sort of beat it to a little pulp, and then hop up on the table. What do you do? Also, here you go. Big.
Damn, Ebony got big.
Yeah, I bet you can just eat them. So Betty would like to send Ebony to this one. Oh, hold on.
Okay.
So I'm sending Ebony to that one, and then I'm gonna attack this one.
I believe you can move Ebony yourself. So place Ebony where you want.
Oh. Oh.
Alright, and then you're going to knock an arrow and fire at this one.
Yes, that is correct.
Alright, make your attack roll then. Alright, with a 7, the arrow flies past the small demonic creature and lodges itself in the wall behind it.
Sorry guys, I can't see behind you, but also Perry's a little bit scared. It's okay, Ebony will fix it. What should I roll for Ebony to attack since it's she's still messed up from last time?
So Ebony acts on your turn. And you can command it where to move without using an action. And it can also take attack, dash, disengage, and help actions as well.
Here, I just posted it in the Discord.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, we tried to view the character sheet last session, and I accidentally erased it, basically. So we can't view anything on Roll20 for her character, for
Roll-
the owl.
For the owl?
Yeah, for the owl. I clicked like Character Mancer by accident, and it basically got rid of whatever stat block was on it.
Do you see the fresh meat chat?
Yeah, did that work? Like, I clicked the thing that said talons and something popped up.
Did it end up working?
Yeah, I believe so. It says 8.
So verbally commanding Ebony to attack would use your action. You get to move Ebony for free. Ebony can follow your command on where to move. But having Ebony do something uses your attack action, so...
Well, that's okay. That's fine. I at least know that the button thingy works, though.
We haven't implemented those yet, Luna. I gotta read them over first.
I don't think we can see it in Roll20, but
Are you talking about the attack? Because I see an 8 on there.
It did roll it. I'm just saying that to have Ebony do something, you need to sacrifice your use of it. So.
Oh, yeah. No, I understood that, Jay. It's just Ender said
okay.
that he can't see it, maybe. But, I mean, I saw an 8 on there, unless it's just showing up on mine.
Yeah, I see it.
okay.
Oh, okay, great. Harry is done with her turn.
All right. That brings us to Proudpool's turn.
Proud's gonna look around and see this one by himself, and then he'll point at this creature and say, "Well, you like playing with fire? Better hope you don't get burned." And then go towards it, and then so with that point, I'll activate the bonus action Plunder and Thunder.
Nice.
And then I'll face it and attack it with my rapier.
All right.
And I will not hit.
There you go.
That is a 7. So that is the end of my turn.
You taunt this one and then run up to it and swing at it, and it manages to just duck out of the way and gives off a little cackle. Then at the end of your turn, that brings us to Ender.
Okay, I'm just gonna step to the side and then hold up my hand and let out a sacred flame at this guy.
All right.
So dexterity save of 13.
Yeah, let me check the dice. Ooh, not bad. All right. It saves.
Okay. I'm just gonna stay against the wall, kind of look at these things that I've never seen before, and hope that everyone else is doing okay.
All right. And that brings us to the one that just dodged your Sacred Flame. As it dips out of the way of your Sacred Flame, Ender, you hear it begin to cackle and make eye contact with it, and the cackling begins to echo in your head. So make a Wisdom save for me.
Okay. 17.
All right. You manage to shake it out and guard yourself against this cackling that sort of forces itself into your head, and it begins to fade. Disappointed, the creature then will hop up on the table. Which brings us back to this one. The one in front of you, Proud.
All right.
Alright, so you plunder and thundered it, so it gets advantage, yeah? Refresh my
Yeah,
memory.
if it's doing a, let's see, sorry, features and traits.
Attack rolls.
Yeah, 2 attack rolls. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that includes spells and attacks.
It is going to simply attempt to bite you.
Okay.
And it hits.
Alright.
So it sinks its teeth into your leg and deals 5 piercing damage.
All right. But is that marker supposed to mean anything in the enemy's portrait, or like
Just
effect
that,
or anything?
just that you plunder and thundered him.
Oh, gotcha.
It's
Okay,
it's
cool.
kind of like taunting him and making your nemesis, so that's why he looks mad.
Gotcha.
It's basically calling somebody out for being like a coward, and then they want to fight you. So you're both angry at each other. So you have your little duel off to the side. Is the idea behind Plunder and Thunder.
Makes sense.
So that's just to remind myself that he's got that. All right. So he sinks his teeth into your leg, and then we move on to the one standing in front of you, Fox. Identifying you as the larger target as you just beat one of its fellow creatures to a pulp, it's going to attempt to bite you, Fox. But it misses. It snaps its teeth at you, but you manage to pull your leg out of the way before it can sink them in. Which brings us to your turn, Fox.
I'm gonna fuck him up.
All right. That hits.
17. 7 damage.
All right. You smash your fist into it as it misses. As it snaps its jaws at you, you smash your fist into it, and you see some teeth break off as you connect. Dealing
A
7 bludgeoning damage.
flurry of blows.
All right, that hits.
8 damage.
You follow up that strike with another one, connecting it and sending it tumbling across the table, where it flops onto the ground and stops moving.
Can I move 5 feet to use my last hit on the other guy?
You haven't used your movement, so yes. Yeah, I believe. One thing about flurry of blows is that you can't separate them, right? All right. Make your final one.
Only a 10.
All right. You spin around and try to hit this one, but it manages to duck your kick.
Okay. That's all I can do. So I'm just gonna prepare.
All right. Periwinkle, you see Fox take one down, knocking it flying off the table. As Proud has one of them biting into his leg. What do you do?
Harry's gonna attack the one that's, messing with Proud.
All right.
That's a 12.
All right. This second arrow that you fire lands next to the other one with a thwack into the wall. Proud, something whizzes by your head and lodges itself in the wall.
Hit him, not me.
Well, sorry, Proud. Harry's still a little bit scared. Really
That's what I
should have
thought,
said Ebony.
All right. You're free to do other things though, Prayer. Yeah, that's what I thought it was, Luna. There's some like kind of vagueness to some monk stuff that they should be a little more specific in, just to explain it. But I don't mind. That's what I thought it worked.
Harry's just gonna move here next by Ebony, and then I'll end my turn.
All right.
Proud.
Then it is now your turn, Proud.
Yeah, Proud is gonna look at the thing biting into its leg, try to shake it off. When that doesn't work, he's just gonna slice it over the top, try to behead it if he can. But he will not, because that's a natural 1. So, his bonus action instead will be to disengage, and then 5, 10, 15, 20, and then going diagonal is 1, right?
Yeah, it's just the same as moving one space.
All right. 25, 30. Hey, Ender. What's up?
Kind of busy.
All right, take out that one. And then probably on his turn.
Okay. And out of the corner of your eye, you see Proud kind of swipe at the one that grabbed onto his leg, and it dodges out of the way, hopping back to the floor. And then Proud immediately backs away as it rights itself and runs up to you. What do you do?
I'm just gonna like kind of give Proud acknowledgement that he ran over to me, but just keep focusing on the one that's fighting Fox and shoot another sacred flame at it if possible.
All right. It fails its save.
Cool. Wasn't expecting that. Takes 6 radiant damage.
All right. You hear it. Instead of cackling, this time it lets out a screech as it sort of is seared by your radiant flame. And you can see that it sort of has like burnt areas of its flesh, but it's still standing.
Okay, and then I'll take like 1 step forward just so I can see this one.
Okay.
But that's it.
All right. Fox, the one in front of you, you see it sort of glow for a moment and screech as it's burned, and then it sort of lashes out at you furiously, attempting to bite at you. And it catches just the littlest bit of your robe, but doesn't manage to connect with your flesh in its snapping jaws.
Oh, nice.
Which brings us back to which, seeing you run away, Proud, it's going to point one of its arms at you and fire a firebolt across the room at you. which is going to hit. Oh, low roll. For 4 fire damage.
Ah. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill that thing.
Which brings us to Fox's turn.
22 to hit.
All right. The little demonic creature in front of you bites out at you, but misses, leaving itself open to a strike as you slam into it, and deal 6 bludgeoning damage, kicking it back. And you hear a crunch as it falls over.
Great. I'm going for a quadra kill.
Oh my god.
I'm going to use flurry of blows.
All right.
I only hit once.
Okay. Roll your damage for the hit.
Only 4 damage.
All right. Spurred on by your success against that one, you sprint across the room, jumping off the table and doing sort of a flying kick at this one, catching it in the shoulder as it takes some damage, but manages to right itself. Then if that is all,
That's it.
Perry, it's now your turn. You saw a fox sprint past you towards the last remaining target. What do you do?
Perry will send Ebony over there to attack. So, do we establish that I click the talons and that's considered Ebony's attack?
Yeah. You add your proficiency bonus to its attack rolls, though. Just so you know. I don't know if you already have that. I don't know what your little macros look like, but Beast Companion's are a little more accurate than the base version. You also add your proficiency bonus to its AC as well. And I think some of this stuff too. Damage rolls too. Alright, you command Ebony to soar across the room and slice at the last remaining little demon with its claws. And it does so, but the little demon manages to duck under the talons.
That's unfortunate. Can I please call Ebony back to me, please? Ebony, come back.
Ebony will take a attack of opportunity for that. As Ebony begins to fly away, the little demon snaps his jaws at it, but only catches a couple feathers and doesn't manage to catch Ebony.
Oh, poor Ebony, I'm so sorry. I can just groom you later. It's okay.
Does flyby only work if you connect? I was just curious, just in general, for future stuff.
Let me look at the stat sheet. I don't know if Ebony has flyby. Oh yeah, it does have flyby. All right. Well, I missed anyway, so. But in the future. Alright, is that all then?
Yeah, sorry. Fox was trying to tell me, like, he was trying to ask me a question about flyby, and I was just reading it. It just says that opportunity attacks or something like that.
Yeah, no worries, I got it. I just didn't realize that Ebony had flyby, but In the future, I got
Yes.
it now.
No, Perry's done with that, Darren.
Yeah. No worries, Luna. I appreciate the help. Typically, I don't like backseat DMing, but there is a lot to keep track of, so I only allow it from Luna.
It's not backseat DMing. It's co-DMing.
Just don't get too cocky, Luna.
I was about to say, don't let him do that. Luna's just gonna start writing lore for Grand Lorian then.
You're the player, DJ. You don't get to DM. Luna is just very, very good at little minute details that slip my mind when I'm focusing on 100 things. So that's why I appreciate that. Because I've done my fair share of errata stuff and all the minor little research, but there's always going to be little things to slip your mind. So it's good to have a little bit of a reminder. But Proud, it's now your turn.
Proud's gonna use his 30 feet of movement to go here, and
Alright.
then he's gonna turn to the thing across the box. Like, I'm not gonna let you have all the fun, and then I'm gonna attack the rapier on the demon thing,
All right.
and that's another natural one, so I'm gonna miss.
All right.
What,
He's
what
gonna have all the
fun are
fun.
you having?
So I've had a 3, a 1, and a 1. So I'm just gonna end my turn.
These things are cursed for you. All right, Ender, you're up. You see Proud cockily taunt his foe and then run up to it and miss. What do you do?
They got it. I'm gonna look out the door and make sure no one else is coming.
All right, you check down the hall.
I'm not walking all the way out of the room because I'm the only light source.
Yeah, but you poke your head down the hall, looking left and right. You don't see any other creatures that are approaching.
Okay. That's my turn.
All right. As you miss Proud, the creature cackles at you and lashes out with another bite. Just grinning ear to ear with glee. But it misses too. He rolled a 1 and 2.
Wow. I was already on my sheet ready to hit the damage button.
I think Plunder and Thunder is a curse instead of a buff.
I know.
You activated the Will of Fortuna, and she just scoffed in your face and told you to get lost.
I go into one other temple, and this is the punishment.
All right, and Fox, you're up. You just see an embarrassing show of whiffs. What do you do?
Wow.
Apparently, he brought it to me. This little fish bastard.
Fox witnesses an embarrassing array of whiffs and decides to add one of his own. Before following up with the strike that does hit.
7 damage.
All right. Feeling frustrated that you joined in on their embarrassing show, you lean a little more into this blow and use your frustration to just kick the absolute shit out of this demon. And it flies against the wall and falls limp.
After I kick, I'm gonna look up Proud. And what fun did you have in any of that?
None. Proud's gonna stow away his rapier. Just stare at the wall.
Right.
Is everyone
well,
okay?
Should we check
Yeah.
the rooms?
I think my ego's more hurt than anything.
On the bright side, you have the flare down. Now you just have to work on the execution.
All right, one sec. I'm gonna run to the bathroom quick, so take a break if you need to.
Well, we've at least inspected this room. We can try to see if there's anything valuable in it. Or try to identify the corpse.
Loot the bodies.
if there's anything on them.
I haven't ever
Well-
seen anything like these.
Yeah. I honestly thought, like, just from looking at them from the character portrait, it was going to be a little bit tougher than what it was. Then I saw Fox take one down in one hit, or like one turn. I was like, oh, okay.
That's not a testament how weak they were. It's a testament how strong Fox is.
Both can be true. That's why I activated the Plunder and Thunder. I was like, well, okay, if I hit them once, I should be able to one-shot it.
See, that was your
And if-
problem. You expected to hit them.
And then I rolled a combined 5 on 3 rolls.
All right, the DM returns. So silence falls across the room, just the creaking of the house around you. The corpses of the demons that you just killed, as they sort of fall limp and motionless, they almost char themselves into black ash, leaving behind sort of blackened corpses as though they'd just been burned in a pyre. And then the chains that they had kind of wrapped around that they used to attack you with.
I'll shut the doors behind us so we'll know if anything else comes into the room.
All right.
Guys, is that a corpse on the table?
Absolutely is. I'm assuming these things are the one that killed it, but Proud's gonna try to inspect the corpse to see what he can find on it.
I'm going to describe it. Make a medicine check while I do. The corpse is lying on the table, very obviously humanoid in size. It's not a skeleton of one of these creatures, clearly. Lodged in its chest, very obviously, is a what appears to be sort of a kitchen knife, not your typical dagger. The knife itself is rusted and caked in black, dried blood. And a pool of that same sort of congealed black dried blood is covering the table underneath the skeleton as well.
Proud got a 5 on his medicine check.
All right. It is definitely dead, and the dust on it means that it's probably pretty old.
Yeah. Actually, maybe these demons didn't kill it. This thing's been dead for a while. Look at the color of the blood.
Is this the door right here?
It's a painting on the wall.
What's the painting of?
It is sort of torn with a big slash across it. So part of it is curled up, but you can see sort of the top half of it. And it appears to be a woman wearing, by your standard, dated in comparison to what you've seen people on the streets of Drosis and Luchen's wearing.
I take it a similar thing to the other painting.
The opposite wall is similar, only it's torn slightly differently. It has what appears to be 3 claw marks across it, cutting open a part of the center of it. You can see sort of the head and feet of a man who appears to be around middle age, also wearing sort of dated clothing.
Did you all find anything valuable in this room?
Haven't looked too hard. We can check under the chairs and the table.
Fox, make a perception check for me while they do that.
Fuck me, I got an 8.
All right. There isn't much under the table, Proud and Ender. I guess Perry, if you're looking as well. On top of the table sits a bunch of sort of kicked around and shattered ceramic plates that also look quite old, as well as some dusty-looking silverware. As far as
Shall we
under
go-
the table, though, there isn't anything.
Shall we all go check another room?
Well, might as well take the silverware and the plates, right? I mean, who knows how much value they have, but it seems to be the only thing in the room. The only other place I can possibly think of is if you want to check under the plants or in the plants, the potted plants.
Why, Proud, are you looking for Duna coins?
Well, I was more looking for things that could get us gold coins, but I mean, wouldn't hurt to check for Duna coins.
So Proud, are you gathering the silverware?
Yes, I'm gonna gather the silverware, and then you mentioned the ceramic plate. Is this one not broken, or is that just for design?
So the fine china, for lack of a better word, is mostly kicked apart and destroyed and chipped and broken. But there is one that seems to have been spared that fate. So there is one plate and then two knives and two forks that appear to be in pretty good condition.
Okay, I'm gonna take the knives, the two knives, the two forks, and then the ceramic plate.
All right.
Can I just run my hands like through the ash of the thing? Because I just saw like this creature was alive and then it turned to ash right in front of me.
It doesn't turn into like a pile of ash. It turns into sort of a blackened, charred corpse. So imagine meat that you left on
okay.
on a fire for like an hour and just ignored. It would be blackened,
Okay,
but still
gotcha.
pretty solid. There's definitely a bit of ash around it, just from the charred kind of charcoal.
Does anyone know what these things were?
I was about to ask you the same. Do we think we can maybe take off like a horn or something? Maybe we can ask someone.
I think it's probably better that we don't talk about us being here. Maybe we just research it ourselves at the library.
Very well. Follow me. I want to check these other rooms as quick as possible.
Okay. I follow close behind Fox.
All right, you make your way back out into that upper hallway at the top of the stairs.
All right. Well, want to go in the room that has the overgrowth, or? Oh, all right. I guess you made your choice.
Fox, this is the same door that you couldn't see anything through.
Yep.
Are you opening it?
Yep.
All right. The doorknob.
Hey, no, Perry would like to look in there first. Can Perry look and maybe see if she sees anything?
Do you mean just opening the door?
I used the special magnifying glass, but I don't recommend using it because I'm worried it might break. So you either go in blind or don't go in at all.
Okay, Perry like bust the door open, but like not kick the door open, like kind of just like turns the doorknob and then like push the door because like it's dark in there, right? So Perry does that and looks inside.
All right. The doorknob turns with a squeak, and then you sort of push the door open with a flourish, but it stops only a couple inches after opening it. Clearly caught on something heavy as it doesn't budge. But there is a crack.
I still have my light spell going too.
Clearly stopping on something.
Sorry, I was going to ask, is it enough for me to like poke my head through, or
Not poke your head through, but there is a crack that you could peer through. Though from just standing and looking at the crack, it does appear to be pretty dark.
Perry,
however, can
look through this crack, or else I'm going to just shove the door.
What? Why does Perry have to do it? What if something stabs my eye?
Do you want me to just move the door?
Harry, you're the only
No,
one that
it's
can
okay.
see.
Perry will look at it. It's fine. Perry will look in there.
All right. Perry, the darkness doesn't impair you. And as Ender steps closer, the rest of you can kind of actually see this too. But it looks as though part of the manor has collapsed in on itself, as there's a massive pile of wood blocking the door from being opened. So much so that you can't really even see into the rest of the room past it.
Up, guys, cannot go that way.
I'm gonna walk next to her and try and shove it best I can.
All right. You press against the door, and it does not want to budge. There is a significant portion of the manor that has fallen in on itself here.
Well, I guess we're trying the other door.
Or we could go back down and try the door that's on the portal we came in.
I agree, but we should check this other door before we go downstairs.
All right, fair enough.
All right. You make your way down the hallway towards the other door. You arrive in front of it. It looks old like the other ones, but nothing else sort of out of the ordinary about it.
I'm gonna try and open the door.
The doorknob squeaks and it is unlocked. And this door swings open without anything impeding it.
I just casually open it. I'm not gonna try and be flashy by any means.
All right. Then with Ender's light bathing the room, you can see what lies inside. So just give me a sec to drag you guys in. Now, this room, for what you can gather upon just giving it a cursory glance, is a bedroom. Perhaps some sort of master bedroom, as the bed is rather large. There's a dresser off to your left, and a large, ornate bed that has sort of collapsed. The frame of it has collapsed in on itself. And off to your right is a fireplace.
All right, guys, let's spread out, see what we can find. Proud's gonna inspect the fireplace, see if there's anything in any ash, and if there's nothing there, then maybe look up the fireplace, see if it connects to like a chimney.
The fireplace has a lot of dust and perhaps a little bit of like a thin layer of old ash. And then as you look up it, you just see darkness and cobwebs.
Proud's gonna sit through the dust, see if he sees anything, and if not, then that'll be it.
You don't see anything. It appears as though it hasn't been used in quite some time.
After seeing the body in the other room, I'm gonna look at this one and see if I can see any damages to the bones or anything that would indicate that it wasn't a natural death.
All right. Medicine check then.
Okay. That one. So it's 6 total.
It's definitely a dead body. It's a skeleton, so it's definitely old.
Okay.
Other than that, it's a little hard to tell what exactly killed it. It definitely has some obviously broken bones that you can see.
Okay, and then I'll look under the mattress to make sure there's none of those demon things underneath the bed hiding.
There isn't anything under the bed, but
Okay.
there are quite a few cobwebs and some dust that sort of tingles your nose as you look under it.
Okay.
Fox, before you is a large, sort of ornate dresser covered in a thin layer of dust and the occasional cobweb.
I would like to open it and see what was inside.
All right. You pull it open, and inside are some very old-looking women's dresses with lots and lots of holes in them. very clearly sort of devoured by moths. And make a perception roll for me. Actually, do it anyway. But
Do you want me to change it? Or
no,
just
no,
keep
no, no,
the
no. You're fine.
standard?
The 19's fine. I think with your passive, you'd see this anyway. So amongst the dresses, and with Ender kind of walking around the room and giving off this light, you see just the slightest little glint of something sitting kind of along the bottom of the dress of the closet as you open it, along the wooden bottom. Something just catches the light and glints at you.
I unsheath my sword and I move the dresses.
All right. You sort of move the dresses off to the side, revealing what was giving off that glinting. It is a old-looking, but still in relatively good condition, necklace with a pendant on it that has a small gemstone set into it.
I found something of value in this place. It's a necklace, everyone.
That's awesome.
I'll grab it, and I assume that's everything in this room.
What about?
Perry, there's a book on the nightstand next to the bed. It looks quite old and kind of tattered, but perhaps in a bit better condition than the ones in the foyer.
Can Perry maybe open the book and take a look at it? Like, is it that beat up that I can't read anything in it?
It is quite beat up, and a lot of the ink has been smudged. But from what you gather, as you kind of turn the pages, occasionally one of the pages will just fall right out as you turn it. But from what you can gather, it is an old romance novel.
And that it looks like there's more novels over here for romance for you and your relationship advice.
Is this really a time to be joking?
I wasn't joking.
Of course you were.
Can I look through the vase and see if there's anything inside?
Inside the vase is just kind of like the old rotten remains of some branches. Clearly there was once a plant here, but it is long since died.
If I open to the very front of the book, is there any signature or dedication to anyone in the front?
Let me double check something. Yeah. There is on one of the earliest pages a signed signature that just says to Mom from Theodore.
Okay. And then I'll set the book back down and leave it.
I think it's time to go downstairs. What do you all think?
I was just gonna check every pot to see if there's anything different in any of them or anything noteworthy.
Proud,
If
I
not,
think Perry is
go in.
rubbing off on you. You seem to be looking for every nook and cranny for a coin.
There's a spider in that pot, but that's about it.
I was gonna back away from that one. Hey, I mean, look, if we're here, like Perry said, who knows if there's a Duna coin? But there is something that I do actually want to talk about. So we thought this would be the room with the overgrowth. It doesn't seem like that's the case. So those two rooms that are in the front when we came in here, those are two separate rooms. So we got at least 2 other rooms to explore.
That sounds right. I think we should save the overgrowth last just in case it's something amiss.
All right, fair enough. Let's go.
All right, you make your way back out into the hall. And return to the top of the stairs in the foyer.
I am going to try and open this door.
All right. You turn the doorknob and it doesn't seem locked.
Great. Let's go inside.
All right. The door swings open, and you find yourselves in what appears to be the ruins of an old kitchen.
Great, guys, more dead bodies.
Hey, look over there in that corner. It looked like it's an old cellar, like the one that we found at the tavern. But obviously, we're not in a ship.
So the room that you're in is very obviously the remains of a kitchen. There's a table that's been sort of upturned and smashed, and a chair that's on its side. A lot of the ceramic plateware has been kind of strewn across the floor and is in pieces. Ender, on the counter that you're approaching is an old blunted bread knife. And a hunk of just congealed, blackened green, disgusting smelling something.
I just hold my nose, and I turn to Proud, and I'm like, I'm not sure if that's the body or if this, whatever the hell this is that smells, but I don't appreciate it.
Yeah. Remember when we ate the fish back in the sewers?
Yeah, that was worse. This is way worse than that.
Is that an actual knife in the corpse?
Yeah, Proud. The corpse that you are next to has the same sort of black congealed blood under it as the other ones. And sticking out of its chest is another knife, kind of rusted and solidified into the skeleton.
Ender, do you want to help me see if there's more to this than what we saw in the other ones?
Yeah, let me check. So I'm looking for. I want to specifically look to see if I can tell whether this was a male or female.
Okay.
And then like any additional information on top of that.
All right. Make a medicine check. You've seen a lot of these bodies now, so it would be a little maybe easier to tell.
Okay.
But make a medicine check to determine kind of the level of what you discover.
13.
Okay. You can tell that it was once likely humanoid. You don't notice any sort of irregularities about the skeleton that would imply that it was not a human. You don't get the sense that it was an elf or anything else like that. So it was definitely a human, and it appears to be male.
Okay.
The dagger that is sticking out of it is at a strange angle. You've seen people be stabbed before, and typically when someone gets in a bar fight or the tempers rise and they're stabbed kind of in the rib cage like this one is, it's not at this angle.
Does it look like it could be self-inflicted?
It does.
I think there was a sad story that happened here.
Well, if you think this one offed himself, I mean, what would be the point of this struggle? There's plates broken everywhere. If he wanted to kill himself, he could have just done it in a corner or not made as much of a mess.
Well, just
There's-
because there's a struggle here doesn't mean that it ended here.
There's also this broken passageway. It's possible that what we fought up there potentially came up after everything happened or during, and that's why it killed itself of pure fear.
It's not a bad idea. I just want to check these before we go down.
Yeah, go right ahead. Let me know if you need
These
help.
Proud's going to check these two dressers.
Inside this one is dusty, old, and rusted cooking utensils.
Lame. Proud's going to scoff at that and go to the other one.
Inside this one is a continuation of cooking utensils and an old moth-eaten apron.
Well, that's also disgusting. Alright.
Let me
Looking
see what
down, yeah, looking down into this, is there like a ladder or anything?
There is,
Okay.
but it is pretty dark down there.
Perry, you want to peek your head down?
No, not really. I think Perry is okay up here. What do you think is down there that you're so interested about it?
Well,
Hold on, let me try something. I go over and I grab the bread knife, and then I'm gonna recast light on the bread knife, and then drop it into the hole
All right.
and see how far down it goes.
It doesn't go that far down, maybe about 10 feet, and then clatters on a stone floor.
Okay, but it sheds light within that area, so can we see anything else from above now?
If you kind of hang your head down to look, kind of lying flat on the ground, you can see that it is casting light on obvious stone walls and a cellar. You can see some barrels kind of lined up and something traced along the ground. But again, with just a knife kind of sitting in the corner, it's a little hard to see.
Fox is gonna go ahead and just go down.
Yeah,
Probably
I don't
follow
see
up.
I don't see anything moving down there, so
You don't see anything moving, no.
okay, we'll follow Fox as he goes down.
All right. Then as you go down, Perry, you're the first to kind of see everything, as you have much brighter vision than everybody else. But as you reach the bottom of the ladder and sort of lift the glowing knife to kind of spread the light further throughout the room, this is what you see.
Guys, it looks like something terrible is going on here.
What in the Mata happened?
I don't feel so good.
Now, Fox, as you sort of see this light, the only thing that you see in addition to all this is what appears to be some sort of leathery sack sitting in the center of the traced circle on the ground, about there.
I'd be careful walking over there.
Maybe we can throw something in there to see if it'll attack
I-
it?
I cast detect magic,
Um,
so my light. Oh wait, no. Yeah, my light fades. Crap.
all right. Then the rest of you, it gets very dark in here. Perry, you can still see just fine. Ender, the room turns pitch black, and then you see just sort of the same tracing here on the ground that you saw in the light, just ever so faintly glow.
Okay. And then I recast light on my holy symbol again. Yeah,
Alright.
the markings on the ground right here are magical. Don't worry, that was me making the lights go out and back on again.
I mean, have you ever seen something like this?
Who? I have not seen anything like this, no.
Can I rub my foot along the seal on the ground or whatever it is on the ground and see if it, like I can rub it off a portion of it, maybe one of these lines?
Oh,
Um,
guys, I don't feel good about this. I don't think we should step inside it.
you kind of rub your foot against that very edge of the circle right here, and realize that it's not drawn on the floor. It almost is carved into the stone.
There's some serious.
Oh man. Ender has a really bad feeling. Just like overwhelm him all of a sudden.
What's over here on this table?
Sitting on this table is what appears to be a skull of what looks like a goat, as well as a smaller but similar looking ornate circle carved into the table. Also on top of it are 3 unlit candles, and 2 what appear to be mushrooms, Fox, as well as a mortar and pestle.
Ender, come here. Do you recognize these mushrooms?
I'm pretty sure I would, considering my background.
Ender, you inspect the mushrooms, and you recognize them as. You recognize them as Wandercap.
Okay.
When smoked, they induce vivid hallucinations. When straight up eaten without the smoking, they cause very bad trips.
Yeah, I recognize these. Depending on how they're consumed, it can cause some pretty bad things. We've had patients come in with after using these in the wrong ways, and they've had to take a couple days to recover in our apothecary.
That doesn't make sense. I don't understand why those would be used in this ritual. I mean, they clearly
Maybe,
sacrifice themselves, but why have shrooms?
maybe they didn't sacrifice themselves. Maybe they were. Maybe they ingested that and then they were told or put in a position to do so. I mean, I don't think anyone would willingly put themselves through this.
Ender and Fox, from behind you, you hear something move. Perry, you see the sack sitting in the center of the circle just quiver slightly.
Guys, it's time to go. Something just moved, and I'm very afraid about it.
What's this over here on this wall?
This part of the wall, almost kind of built into the wall, is this massive, ornate, sort of stone tablet carved with text that you are not able to read. Checks everyone's languages.
Is it this sec?
No, he's talking about the sack literally in the middle of the.
Yeah,
Oh.
I didn't represent it visually, but what looks to be some sort of leathery sack is sitting in the center of the.
Okay. And that
the-
moved?
Oh god.
Perry saw it quiver, and you guys heard something move.
And I'm sorry, you said that there was that none of us can read the language, even
No.
if I ask them.
Yeah, you ask throughout the party if anybody can read this, and everybody is equally incapable to.
Okay, I take all the ingredients off the table.
So the mushroom and the mortar and pestle.
Are there? What else are these other things? Is there anything else?
Well, there's 3 candles that are unlit.
Okay, I'm not taking the skull.
A
I
goat
just want the
skull,
mushrooms.
and then the table itself has another sort of arcane circle carved into it.
All right, I'm going to walk into the center of this and grab the bag.
All right, as you grab it, it moves again, and you realize that it's not a sack at all. What you thought was just a leathery sack is actually a lump of flesh, and it begins to move and look at you as you grab onto it.
Guys, I told you this place is creepy.
It simply kind of sits up. It is just a lump of flesh with a sort of crudely shaped face and mouth. It makes sort of a gurgling noise as it looks at you.
What the fuck?
Hey, I look. I'm gonna agree with Perry here. I'm ready to leave. If anyone else is ready to join me, if not, I might leave on my own.
I'm gonna double check all the containers, crates, bags, everything around the outside just to see if there's anything that stands out.
Inside the cabinets is rotten old compost. This was clearly a cold storage for food that is very long since spoiled. The casks here hold what appears to be wine. These as well are filled, kind of pantry cupboards filled with spoiled food. And the sacks are just kind of old, musty smelling grain. This was obviously once a cellar.
Can you understand me?
The thing in the center makes another gurgling noise as it looks at you.
Okay, Perry, I'm ready to go. Ender's going crazy.
What happened here?
Oh no, God, they're talking to it.
The creature sort of writhes and flops onto the ground, helpless and unable to really move itself much, as it is really just a sack of flesh with no arms or legs.
This isn't right. It's not fair to live like this, whatever it is.
Guys, if you're gonna keep on messing with it, maybe you should,
I stand over it and I cast Sacred Flame at it.
Wait,
Oh,
I'm also gonna strike at it with him.
God.
just leave it alone. It has
Alright.
nothing to do with us.
It makes no attempt to dodge any of your attacks. Ender, you see it sort of sear with the radiant light, and Fox, you stab it at what appears to be perhaps a throat with your sword. Or, I guess, yeah, whatever you attack it with. And the creature kind of lets out another really wet gurgle and falls limp and unmoving on the ground.
Oh God, they've done it. Bad luck for the rest of us.
Oh yeah, you killed the demonic thing of life. Can we leave now?
Yes.
I kind of kick it out of the circle, like over here, and then I quickly leave.
As the two of you walk away, you hear another gurgle.
There's nothing we can do to help. Let's just leave.
You turn back around as you hear that gurgle, and it sort of just slowly writhes its way back towards the center of the circle.
All right, fuck it, I leave.
All right, you make your way back up the ladder. into the kitchen.
Okay. Quick group chat.
No, I
Anytime
just
there's
walked past them out into the main lobby.
anytime there's an undead thing living that shouldn't be, let's leave it alone. Yeah. Let's get this night over with.
Is it possible for me to open this door?
It's sort of stuck, if you will. But as you kind of pull at it to open it, the plants kind of begin to give way. So make a strength roll with advantage since everybody else is there to help tug. All right.
13.
The entire group kind of helps you pull, and it's pretty difficult. But eventually, you feel roots kind of snap, and the fibers of the plants tear, and the door is pulled free and opens. As you look inside, you see this. So,
I would like. Go
Why?
ahead. Wow.
You moved as I grabbed you.
I'm immediately going through the books.
The books along these shelves are just sort of destroyed, like the one out in the foyer. They are just moist and rotten, growing with mold.
I'm like almost obsessively doing it, where I'm like looking for anything that looks like it's not decayed.
All right.
Yeah, I'm doing the same sign.
Okay. I'll get back to that in a sec. Proud, sitting on this couch, almost in like a reclined position, is an old, dusty skeleton. This time with no congealed blood, except right around the mandible. And clutched still in its grasp is a wine glass.
This doesn't make any sense. This one was reclining. The one in the bedroom seemed like it was relaxing, maybe about to read a book. And there was some kind of weird sacrifice going on in the cellar? What the hell?
I think something was planned. If I had to guess, I would say the body that was in the kitchen was like an accomplice, and maybe they felt guilt. That's why they took their life, or they were persuaded or something. But they did something, I think, to cause these others harm.
But this one is the most puzzling, because there's not that much. You said there wasn't a lot of blood, or there was no blood?
There's sort of like a spatter just slightly on the couch, and then congealed around the jaw of the skeleton. Andrew, just hold on for a sec. Just stop moving. I just want to resolve this before I get back to you.
It's possible it was poison, Proud.
But that wouldn't explain the blood, right? Or maybe you are spitting it out. But so there was a coordinated plan to kill everyone that was in this mansion, so they could free themselves to commit the act in the cellar.
I don't know about I don't know about the cellar, but the easiest thing that comes to mind is that someone wanted the power for themselves, and so they set up this family for demise.
What power? It doesn't even seem like anything was gained in that thing. With the circle, nothing could tell us that it was power that they were after. If anything, they were hallucinating based on Ender's description. It just something doesn't make sense.
When I say
The-
power proud, I'm referring to the power of the city. The lady of Lucens. What if the people who are in control helped sway this matter so they could become in control? That's that power.
The hallucination still doesn't make sense though. If you're doing that, you want to be strong of mind or sensible. I'm confused. There's an element here that either we're not seeing or we can't find out.
People can be lied to and believe the wrong things. Doesn't mean that it has to make sense.
We should look around everywhere, see if there are any notes, any clues as to what happened here.
I feel like we've done that the entire time. We've seen almost everything.
Ender, where you're standing, part of the window is shattered, and there's glass along the ground.
Yeah.
Proud, as you look above the fireplace, there's another large painting that's been slashed up. This time it appears to be of many people. There's around 6 people in the painting, though you can only really see 3 of them. Just the feet of the other ones.
Gotcha. Okay, so 3 of them have been slashed up, and 3 of them are not.
It just looks like it doesn't look like they were purposefully slashed out of the painting. Just that the slashes happen to cut off the faces of 3 of the people. One of them you recognize as the man from the dining hall. Another one standing next to him is the woman from the dining hall. And the third one is a woman who is older than the other woman by a decent amount, kind of like an elderly woman.
You said the man in the dining hall, and the woman in the dining hall. Did you mean the woman in another room, or were there 2 corpses in the dining hall?
No, the paintings, the other paintings in the dining hall is what I mean.
Oh, gotcha.
There was 2 paintings in the dining hall. You recognize 2 of the people in this painting from that painting.
Gotcha.
Make a perception check.
Sure. Okay, that is better. That is in 18.
All right. As you kind of inspect the fireplace, your foot kind of collides with something that makes a little bit of a clattering sound along the ground. You might not have noticed it, but it makes a little soft metallic noise against the stone. And you look down to see what appears to be a small, slightly rusted metallic plaque.
I'm gonna read the plaque.
You pick it up, and it reads, the last little bit is cut off from the rest, but you can estimate that it reads the Davenport family.
The Davenport?
Correct.
Well, everyone in this painting looks like they're part of a family. The Davenports. You guys know anything about that name? Because I don't.
Nope.
Oh, can I look through the bookshelves and see if there's anything that stands out?
Most of it has been kind of old and rotten, molded over. They clearly were once books, but it's hard for me to represent how destroyed they are on the map. So they look fine, and I keep telling you they're not, but trust me, they are destroyed. This was clearly once a library that held a lot of different types of books, but most of them are falling apart. Every once in a while you get a page or 2 that's sort of fallen out of one of the books that appears to be mostly intact, and you gain a sense that there was all sorts of different types of books from that. Fiction, there was old books on just like the history of old windmills, just everything you can imagine. You gain sort of an idea that this was a very assorted collection of books.
Proud's gonna take the plaque and put it in his backpack.
Alright.
Is this tree sprouting out from the ground?
It is sort of burst up through the floorboards.
Do I notice anything about the glass?
It was shattered, but you can't really tell how it was shattered, though it is a little odd that the glass is on the inside.
Yeah. Does it, looking outside the window here, does it, like, where does the lead to?
So the side of the house, kind of where the tree on the right of the manor was, you guys climbed up the left tree, so the one opposite to it, is about where you're looking at right now.
Okay.
Actually, make a perception check for me while you're at it. Or what's your passive investigation? Never mind. Fox is there too.
It's 11.
Fox is there too, so he'll help you out. Fox, as you see Ender looking at the glass, you notice that there's a rock sitting nearby as well. Small enough to fit inside your fist, but pretty solid.
It looks like someone from the outside smashed the window, but why?
After looking around the room out of frustration, I'm just gonna grab a couple books and throw them onto the ground. Damn it! There's nothing here.
Well, we did get something. We got the necklace that Fox found. That could be very valuable and enough to help us out.
Nothing here that helps me, Proud.
What are you talking about?
What
Didn't
do
you
you
pick up the items on the table? Can make some more stuff.
I walk out of there.
He must have been talking about the blood rose, which we don't have time to worry about this right this second. We need to get out.
Yeah.
Before I leave, can I look at the tree? Does it look like it's, I don't know, magical or
It's
demonic? Like, does it have some strange being?
you can make an Arcana check, but this isn't your expertise, so it'll be a little hard to tell.
Well, that's appropriate because I got a 6.
All right. The branches of the tree kind of gently sway slightly towards you from a breeze that passes through the broken window. But other than that, you don't get any sort of odd sense about the tree.
Can I check these cushions, make sure there's nothing hiding or something that's fell beneath the cracks?
Under the cushions, there isn't anything. They're kind of very old and, like everything else, dusty and covered in cobwebs. But you push your hand kind of down the crack of the ornate and what was once a very nice sofa, and you find 2 gold coins down there.
Cool. Alright, I guess I'll catch up to the group.
All right. The group makes their way back to the foyer.
Before we leave, can I look out the window and see if there's anyone outside of the manor?
You glance out the window and it's still pretty dark out. You haven't been here for long enough for it to be morning. And you don't see anybody else on the streets, though it is, of course, dark out and hard to tell.
Alright. We gotta exit here as fast as possible, but we should talk about how we're gonna get out before we go outside. Now, the neat little trick you did to get over the fence, I don't think we're gonna be able to get out the same way.
That's fine, just climb the tree and jump over.
We're gonna all be able to do that?
Can you jump?
I don't think those branches are strong enough to hold us.
We can try. I'll be the scapegoat.
Okay, you can go first, but if not, Ender, you might want to get ready for your silence spell, and then
Yeah.
we can quickly get it off. I understand we want Fox to leave no evidence, but we have to prioritize getting out here without getting caught first and foremost. All right.
Okay. I dropped the light spell.
The doors to the manor creak open as you make your way back out into the cold wind of the dark, shady side of Lucian's.
So it looked like one tree is more sturdy than the other.
The one on the left has buckled slightly from the weight of you guys using it to climb.
Can I go pick up the rope off the tree? I didn't specify it, so I just assumed I left it.
Yeah, I assumed you took it with you, but if you want to say you left it there, there's no difference.
Yeah, we'll just say I was careless and I'll pick it up and
Sure.
Alright.
Yes, some of the branches on the one that Fox climbed before have kind of snapped from the weight of climbing up it. So the one on the right looks a little more sturdy now.
Let's do the lightest person first.
So Perry? Are we going to let her go first?
Either you or Perry, probably. Yeah. I'm gonna be the heaviest with my armor on. So
Alright.
probably best I go last.
I'll shimmy up the tree.
It's a lot easier than trying to shimmy up a slick metal gate even with the rope. So you managed to get up this tree without too much effort. And now you stand kind of poised. Again, the branches of this one are spindly, and it's hard to get right over top of the gate, so you're going to have to make a bit of a jump.
I kind of hold on to the one end of the rope, and I say, like, Fox, just hold on to the rope. That way, you at least have some tension if you trip up or something. Not just going face plant first into the stone floor.
Fox jumps.
All right. This is a lot easier than trying to flip yourself up over spikes, but will still require a bit of precision and dexterity to not land poorly. So just make another acrobatics roll, although an easier one.
23.
All right. You clear the spikes effortlessly and land in a very stylish pose as you land perfectly right in between the gate and the canal.
See, Paraj? Just that easy.
Easy for you. I don't know about Ender.
Let's go.
And
Who's
I
next?
made it over fine the first time.
Well, you want to go first, or you want to go next then, Ender? That way, in case.
No, let me go last. Okay, just in case the tree buckles, at least. You know, all you guys will be over the tree already.
We can also change trees and go to the one further down, just so that way it doesn't snap.
Perry's next.
I do the
Right.
same thing where hold on to the rope. If Perry needs to use it, she can hold on to the other side.
All right. Again, with the assistance and the fact that there are many branches on these sort of old dead trees, Perry, you manage without much difficulty to climb to the top of it and stand poised to make a jump over top of the spiky metal gate. So just another acrobatics. All right.
A 22.
Perry also effortlessly leaps over wrought iron fence and lands exactly where she expected to.
I copied Mr. Grumpy Man and I succeeded.
I held up my hand for a high five. Good job, Betty.
Great, wonderful. I do
Right.
not give you a high five.
Proud and Ender, you see your two party members just gracefully and effortlessly leap as if they weighed nothing over this precarious fence.
All right. Well, Ender, when I go over, don't push yourself if you feel like cracking, okay?
Yep, I got it.
All right. Proud's going to go over the tree and do the same thing that Fox and Perry did.
All right. It's not quite as hard this time because you're just using your legs to jump. So your incapacitated arm is not affecting you quite as much this time, though it does take you longer than the others to climb the tree. All right, so acrobatics as well.
Natural 20. So
All right.
26.
You managed to land perfectly right beside Perry, echoing the same cat-like grace that the rest of them displayed.
All right,
Ender, just do the same thing we did.
climb up the tree. Here goes nothing. I cast guidance on myself and then leap.
All right.
Okay, now one. Let me roll a d4, guys. 4. So I have a 4.
Don't you have a 5?
No, I have -1 modifier.
Oh.
All right. Ender overshoots his jump and splashes into the canal.
Yep, I knew it was coming.
Proud's going to use Shape Water to try to help Ender climb out onto the other side.
Ender, from under you, as you splash into the canal, your armor starts to pull you down slightly, but you feel just the gentlest push upwards from Proud's Shape Water that keeps you floating as you struggle to stay above.
Okay.
I'm going to help him to climb up.
God damn. All right, come
All
on.
right, Fox, you sort of have to lie down flat to be able to reach him as you extend your arm as far as you can, and Ender has to sort of meet you halfway along the slick side of the stone canal.
God damn it.
Come on, get out. Before someone comes.
Can I get out?
Yeah, with the effort of both Proud with his good arm and Fox helping you out, they managed to slowly yank you, dripping from the canal. The water in the canals here smells a little bit rank, so you have sort of a briny smell to you with a bit of slimy algae coating your armor now.
See, I made it over just fine, guys. It's cool.
Ender, I didn't realize you wanted to become a follower of Seneschal too. Could have just asked.
And so you make your way back towards the Wanton Whisper, Ender still dripping and coated in algae, and Fox nursing some wounds. As you arrive back in the early hours of the morning, the sun hasn't quite risen yet, so it's still pretty dark out. And you make your way back into the Wanton Whisper and see the bartender sort of slumped over the counter.
I cast silence as we walk up the stairs so the stairs don't creak.
Okay. You create a bubble of silence on the staircase that stops the creaking as you make your way back up the stairs. You can hear some soft snoring from the bartender.
Okay.
And make your way back upstairs.
I'm tired. I get some good night's sleep.
So we talk about this in the morning then, yeah?
Yeah.
I just go
Fairy
lay down
moves
in
the
bed and
cabinet.
face against the wall, not talking to anyone.
Once she moves the cabinet, I'll close the door.
All right. Perry, you slide the cabinet back into place, forming a makeshift barricade in front of the door.
Then I'll close our door. I'm gonna go up to Ender. Just let him face the wall. It's not a big deal. But Fox is gonna say, look, I understand that you want to save your hometown, and we'll do so. Just try to be patient. We will find everything we can. We will help you. Just remember that.
All right. You settle off into bed. Each of you sort of mulling over the events of this night and what you witnessed within the old manor. And it takes you a little longer than usual to drift off to sleep after the unsettling events of the night. But eventually, sleep does find you. And I think that's a pretty darn perfect way to end the session. Right on time.
I just had to get wet before the session ended.
Yeah, dude, you gotta clean off, you know?
You smell like seawater, man. It's gonna sneak up the room even worse.
Whatever, you enjoy it.
You had to cleanse yourself after the
Well, don't say it like that.
that demonic shit we just came across.
That was a fun session.
That was a really good session.
Or that
That
was
was
creepy. That was creepy as hell.
Now I got to see if I'm gonna sleep in real life.
I can't believe you guys thought that Perry actually slept because, to be honest with you, like legit, like second session, Fox was like, you know, you don't actually sleep, right? And I was like, oh, that's right, I forgot. And so ever since then, I've just been pretending like I was sleeping for the sake of it.
I don't think Proud was in the room when that happened, or at least he was asleep during that. So
It was a long time ago, so I think
No, that was like off
slipped
game. Like
everybody's memory.
it was all like, "Did you actually sleep during that session?" And I was like, "Yeah, I had nightmares." And he was like, "Bro, you don't sleep. You like meditate. I guess you could sleep if you want to." And I was like, "That's weird."
Okay,
Alright.
so
Are we all happy we went on our Skyrim side quest?
well, I guess I'll ask you maybe off stream.
Yeah, probably. Anything you want to ask should probably be said off stream.
I am satisfied with my little adventure to Demonic House. Also feels like we haven't done combat in forever, so that was kind of refreshing.
I'm super happy I got to test out that ability for the first time.
Yeah, I was trying to think if that was the first time you'd used it.
He popped it once
Yeah,
before, but it didn't do. He never used it really.
technically I used it when we fought in the pirates underneath the cellar, but then Ender spared the guy I targeted on,
Right.
or like intentionally did not kill that guy. So I decided, like, all right, well, this is a perfect opportunity. Let me go for it. And then my combined rolls were lower than any one of Fox's rolls.
Yeah, that was real unlucky. Cursed by Fortuna for that fight.
Hey, he rolled a nat 1 at the end.
Oh no, I was saying the combat rolls.
Yeah, he rolled a nat 1 at the end of the combat.
Oh,
And then he
well,
rolled
so
like
that's-
a. And
Yeah.
then he rolled the killing blow to get a card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Then I killed all four.
Yeah. Well, no, because that's the thing. I was like, okay, rapier 2d6, and then I saw the damage that Fox did. I was like, okay, if I hit it, I can probably one-shot it. Hitting is just the tough part. So yeah, but yeah, it was a good session.
Yeah, it was fun.
Now we can go back to our original thing. We were trying to figure out how to get into the manor.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any trees that we're gonna be able to just climb and jump over.
Nah, but we got potentially some money.
Guys, we
Hopefully,
almost did that
will.
session in real time.
Yeah, no, the necklace is a good item, and then you got the extra 2 gold coins, and then we'll see if the silverware goes for anything. Probably not, but
Probably not, but the hope is that oh god, Ooh, you didn't hear that. The problem or the hope is that the necklace actually gives us some gold that we can use for like the forgery and stuff. We gotta go talk to Doggy.
if anything, I'll just send the plates and the silverware to the I'll send the plates and the silverware to the academy, so some chef can use it for his future job.
Yeah, I heard they are short on silverware all of a sudden.
True. Also heard some kids were like in some path below or whatever. Scary stuff, man.
All right. So the next session for this campaign will be Friday as usual at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to see where they go next, you come back for that. It happens on Fridays always, so it's a weekly thing. The schedule is down below. You can check. But the next actual stream will be Sunday, returning to A Class of Crows at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Where they left off, I think they were off to class at the Arcane College of Nilava, but they'd had an encounter with a spooky spirit, a ghost that Gilly talked to. So we'll see where that goes, as he told it to stick around so they could talk to it again. So yeah, that'll be on Sunday if you want to do that. Check that out and see what the hijinks they get up to. If you missed anything that happened, you can look back on the VODs, though they delete after 15 days. So if they're not there, then most of them will be on the YouTube channel. There was a couple that got deleted, unfortunately, but most of them are there. So you can scan on back to those ones. I did add the summaries for those episodes that got deleted. There's one from you guys and one from Class of Crows that got erased, unfortunately. But in the episode before the one that got erased, so you'll see one that's missing. In the one before that, in the description of that YouTube video, there'll be a little summary of what happened in that session, so you can be caught up. And then, of course, Tuesdays is our other campaign that's currently ongoing. And that's at 7 p.m. Eastern with Hearth and Home, who are making a journey into the mountains to find a small town high up in the mountains. And in the last session, they just had a PvP fight that killed one of their compatriots. So I guess we'll see the fallout of that when we return to them.
Well, knocked him down, not killed.
Now we learned that road
Okay.
suck.
Not quite killed, but did yeah, not killed her right out. So
Character deserved it. Team Flimp.
They were both asking for it. I can't take a side in that one.
Yeah, if anything, I'm Team Koja.
Yeah, I'm team I'm team Naraka who just went to sleep.
Chromatic orb versus face. A battle as old as time.
Face lost in this particular circumstance.
And it was disadvantage, like, oof.
Yeah, he rolled very luckily, and just happened to completely torch shield it. But it could have flipped the entire way, and went very badly for him as well.
When they started explaining really excitedly what was about to happen, I was like, wait a minute, he's rolling with disadvantage. Why is he being excited right now? Then but he just like laid it all out, like how it happened. Like, yep, not only did this hit, but this did enough damage to knock it out, getting exactly what he wanted.
Yep, he was very excited about that.
Man, imagine if Proud could roll like that with advantage.
Oh my god, I will end you if I could hit you.
But yeah, those are our 3 ongoing campaigns. So if you're new here, saw a couple new faces in the chat today. So if you're new here, there's the 3 ongoing campaigns, all taking place in the same living world. So future and past campaigns can be affected by the actions of the current running campaigns. You're gonna ask something probably about campaign names.
No, Jay, I was gonna ask where should I go if I want to find out more about the World of Grand Lorien and all the secrets that are in it?
Wow, what a great segue. If you want to find out more, if you're confused about the gods that they were talking about or some of these locations, and you're like, I don't know what the hell these guys are talking about, you can go down into my About section on my Twitch and find the World Anvil, which is basically a similar to like a wiki of all sorts of different stuff about all the different gods of this world, the different locations, some of the factions, a couple characters as well. So if you really want to know more about the world, you can check it out there, because all the campaigns that I run on my Twitch channel are all taking place in that same living, breathing world where different actions affect different things. So yeah, you can take a look there. And then I guess there's my Twitter there too if you want updates, or if all of a sudden the stream goes offline and you want to see me rant about how the internet died, then you can check that out. But other than that, I believe that's all I have to say for my usual end of stream spiel. But yeah, if you're watching it live, thank you. If you're watching it in the VOD, thank you as well. I appreciate all my VOD watchers too. And if you're on the YouTube channel as well, thank you. Consider following if you haven't. If you're watching this and you're like, wow, I haven't followed, give it some thought. It's free. I promise it's free. But other than that, I got nothing else left to say. If you guys want to insult chat more, you can go ahead.
Croak's already got enough. I'll save that for Sunday.
All right. Surely there was nothing else that we talked about at the beginning of the stream, right? So we can just go ahead and end?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect then.
You trying to get away from something?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why give them the secret? Why not hold out to it for as long as they can?
I'm just trying to torture them.
Maybe get 50 followers. Then we'll unleash the secrets.
Yeah. Give me to 50 followers and then I'll let you know.
You're that kind of tease.
Look, I see no downside. Get to 50 followers. It's completely free. You get the names of the different campaigns. And if you don't follow, then you're just going to get Proud Pool's combat rules. That curse is going to be on you now.
I like having you guys here to show for me, because I always feel weird shilling about the channel. So it's very helpful to have other people to do it for me.
Just have Luna or I. Just look at us. One of us will do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
We'll feel it through the internet. We already know.
Exactly. You guys are my best advertisers. All right. Then, if that's all, chat, you have a good night. Take care. Now I'll see you. Well, thank you, Luna. It still does feel very weird to do it though. And I don't imagine it will ever stop being weird. Yeah, smash the like button, retweet, and send me all your money. Thank you. But I just appreciate people watching. No monetary compensation is required. I
Except
promise.
for Perry wanting Duna coins.
Yeah, I'm gonna start charging
Give everyone a shout out.
$10 for every Duna coin that I give your party. You can start. It's gonna be a microtransaction.
Oh my god! What if the viewer points that people can earn are called Duna coins?
That would actually be really funny. I do eventually, if the community grows and I start to unlock all these different things I can do, I do kind of want like some weird ways of implementing like audience participation. I think that'd be a lot of fun. For like weird minor things, I can't let them just decide, hey, does this character succeed on a death save? Because that would be messed up. But little things that like maybe don't have massive.
What? That
massive
seems
impact.
totally balanced.
Oh my god, that's like those reality shows on TV where they're all like, vote off your least favorite person. Oh no.
Yeah, nothing so serious that would like drastically impact a campaign, but like little minor things I think would be fun. I'm trying to like workshop some ideas on how to get some audience participation, like polls occasionally or something like that. I think those things would be fun.
What do you mean Proud Pool takes 2d6 psychic damage from the chat? What the hell?
Just randomly. Just
Suddenly,
let chat just completely decide to deal damage to you spontaneously in the middle of combat.
or suddenly give him a gift. Some parrot poops on his shoulder.
But yeah, that's future stuff that will take some time to implement. I think even like, I don't know, like doing like Twitter polls or something like that would be fun.
Could be like, all right, chat, Classic Rose is going to eat today. What are they going to eat, and why is it Minotaur burgers?
Dude,
Yeah,
I
like,
love that. Where
little-
should Perry look for Duna coins this session?
But yeah, like little like before stream Twitter polls or something that would like decide a minor detail would be fun, and just let chat have like their little bit of input. It would be cool. I'd have to workshop those ideas and come up with some fun ones, but I like the idea of letting like little bits of sway into the world.
You could even do like a PC maybe, if it or not an NPC. If somehow you hit like a big achievement, an NPC is created from them in the world. That'd be pretty cool.
I was thinking about those kinds of things too. I have a lot of different things involving some NPCs and kind of workshopping in the background. But one of the like the smaller things that would be really easy to do is just like, here's a name and a description of an NPC, just like kind of vague, and then decide his personality, and then just like 4 options. Things like that would be really easy to do and really fun. Like before a session, just here decide this NPC's personality. Are they like a complete asshole? Are they like a total suck up? Do they just try to suck up to the party, or are they like really cocky and pompous? Something, just things like that. Little minor. Hey, an NPC might appear in this session. Decide his personality. Would be fun.
They could also do voices and watch you attempt different kind of.
That would be really fun too.
What accent does Jay have to try for this NPC?
Yeah, whenever I'm feeling like masochist, like I'll do those kinds of polls. Decide which terrible accent you guys have to. Actually, that might be even worse for chat. If you decide which terrible accent you guys have to hear for this session.
Great. Give me the Queen of England.
That would be fun though. In the future, things like that would be fun to do. So follow me on my Twitter if you want to. contribute to those things potentially in the future. Because we'd need like a decent amount of people to vote on them before we could ever make things like that happen. I don't tweet that often, but in the future that might change. But yeah, other than that, that'll be the end of the stream for tonight. So take care, everybody. Tune in on Sunday if you want. I promise it'll be entertaining. As we tend to have a lot of fun here, and I don't think we've really ever had any bad sessions. So have a good night, everybody. Take care. I know it's getting late for some people. And see you again at whichever stream you decide to tune into.